Welcome in everyone! It is so good to see all of you, and welcome to our next session of the Fifth Trumpet. Unfortunately, there were some audio issues where my voice as the DM and the NPCs was not recorded for the VOD itself. So this session had to have sections re-recorded or cut down and summarized. If you want to see the full VOD, you can find the link for the unlisted video in the description, but keep in mind all the DM segments are completely silent and only the players can be heard. We apologize for the inconvenience. We're going to do our best to ensure that this never happens again, and thank you all so much for all your support for the Fifth Trumpet. It truly means a lot to me and the cast. We hope you will continue to support all of us and that you are all excited for what is in store. And then there were four. The four former L Corp Department Heads have already found blood on their hands. A big rudder of the middle, dead by their actions. A hasty cover-up the best they can manage, as momentum pushes them forward towards their goal. The web project is within reach at last. N.E.O's inaudible melody drifts beyond notice. As the streets of flavor stretch out before them, that force pulls them across its bloody, cruel, terrifying space, to somewhere dreamed up to escape, to remake, to endure. Family requires responsibility. Will the managers take responsibility for the families they've chosen? We begin our session with the four managers leaving the gravesite behind and heading safely back through the construction zone without interruption. With the knowledge a big brother of the middle has been killed, they are down 2 healing ampules, with Merru having had to use one on himself against big brother Zachary, and Kai having had to use one of his on Yuna, after how badly brutalized Yuna was. Pryor gave an ampule to Merru, leaving Merru and Miix each with 2 healing ampules, and Pryor and Kai each with only 1. Yuna offered to create more back at the RV, but my players decided it wasn't worth the risk, given they didn't know what contingencies Big Brother Zachary might have in place, or if there could be another ambush waiting for them back the way they came. Although my players did not want to traverse deeper through the streets of flavor, they had no choice but to, and entered into them. Welcome to the streets of flavor. You can feel eyes on you, hungry eyes, watching and waiting. Though Pryor's presence deters them, no doubt rumors of a man bearing his appearance have already spread. In the windows of the cafes and shops here, you can see pies, freshly baked, the stench of meat and blood heavy in the air. The back door to a shop opens, and a bloodied bag is tossed out among the trash, before the door is slammed shut again. You have a feeling the offal has been harvested, and that the inedible remains are all that is left inside to be cleaned by the sweepers when night falls. The managers make sure to keep Yuna safely between them, with Pryor taking up the lead, and Kai at the rear.
Pryor has his sleeves rolled up, just to show off even his faded tattoos in the hopes that they do enough to dissuade anyone from coming too close. They are heavily armed, which he hopes will be well enough to stop most of the weaker butchers from trying anything. His nose is crinkled on his face, and his eyes look a little dead as he gazes at the casual slaughter. Somewhere, I'm sure he hears the screaming, someone begging for their life, the sound of the very familiar sound of meat being chopped into pieces. It echoes as much as the neon hum just bears down upon them. The street is washed in this sickly glow. Everything is humming. It's just, he can't turn away because everywhere he looks, the neon hurts his eyes and the sounds hurt his ears. The 8 chefs are always a blight. Their delicacies, their food, their inspiration. People are little more than resources here. Meat to be molded and remade. Turned into fuel for the fattened gluttonous to continue to feed upon them. Pryor turns over his shoulders towards everyone else and sort of regards them with a blank expression as he kind of sucks in breath between his teeth. I grew up on these streets. Long, long ago. It was a little different, but it's still always the same. I hope you'll forgive me if I'm in a bit of a sour mood because of it.
I really don't like it here. Yuna speaks up, looking nervously about. I can't blame you for being. I'm not exactly in the best mood being here either. I'd never been to the back streets before meeting all of you, and I can't say I like being back out on them after being in the facility.
Even among the back streets, this place is particularly disgusting, Yuna. I don't blame your reaction. The back streets are bad, but this one, well. You ever wonder why the strongest fixer to ever exist came out of W Corp's back streets? Because you need to be the strongest to survive this place, even in the city.
I guess that makes sense how someone like the Red Mist could have survived here. I've heard a lot about this place, but it's, actually being here is...
No book, no matter how well written, can capture the smell of death in the air. And you know what the worst part is, Yuna?
No. What?
If you spend enough time on these streets, it starts to smell good. Your brain starts to associate that baking pastry, that fluffy dough rising, the intricately herbed and spiced meat. It begins to mix with the pleasure receptors in your brain and rewire them one by one. And if you're not careful, you start to lose your mind. You start to crave it. Your mouth starts to water. You find your face pressed against the glass as your stomach churns, begging you to take that final last step and devour it whole. Just one pie, just one pastry.
Yuna moves closer to Kai, backing up, their body shaking, rattled by Prior's words. And we just get out of here.
I would like nothing more. Prior does quicken his step.
Kai inches closer behind Yuna, seeing how shaky they are, and flexes his claws to come off even slightly more menacing to any onlooking pedestrians or butchers who may be eyeing them. He ignores the hunger at the smell of cooking flesh, trying to cover his nose somewhat and swallowing the extra saliva he's producing. The screams are drowned out into background noise, like the familiarity of living near a noisy highway.
I think at that conversation, Merru was quiet for a little bit, and then he just goes, for what it's worth, I always hated this place. I mean, the food, I won't lie, I've had some of it before. It was... And Merru will give a glance at one of the windows, and give it a pretty long look before looking away, because he still feels a little sick, but he does remember what it was like to desperately crave anything.
Miix is just not. She's taking it all in. There's a lot on her mind. It's horrifying. And it's something else that she needs to see. And she just keeps walking. She actually doesn't say anything to Yuna. At this point, she's like the furthest ahead aside from Prior. She's just focused on moving forward. And
Prior does turn to Miix, who is the most forward compared to him, and he does. It's not whispered with a cruelty, but it is whispered with a pointedness, and he says, "I know we may have a difference of opinion on the need to act, but if you hear the people calling for help, the people you know you can't help, I hope you can imagine why I have such a desire to change the world now, no matter what it takes." And I'm sure this is punctuated by a scream being cut suddenly silent somewhere off in an alleyway. Prior's lip curls up in disgust, and he tries to turn his gaze away. We're very close. Prior brings them to a small alleyway, a very much more narrow than a lot of the other ones. The shops on either side look like they've been closed down for a long time, but you do notice two spider webs hang on the side of either door frame, and all the windows have been cracked in this intricate spiraling pattern. As soon as Prior arrives, he knocks twice at one door, goes over and turns the other doorknob 3 times. And you all hear the sound of grinding somewhere deeper in the alleyway as he turns himself sideways and very, very tightly pushes himself between the narrow alleyway, gesturing for everyone else to follow behind him. Come on. The way is trapped, secretive. But the technologies that guard it are as old as I am. I know each and every one by heart.
I will follow behind and shimmy through the space between.
You're going to need to sling your weapon off your back. I designed the alleyways in such a way that someone fighting with fisticuffs from the inside can get a full extension, but anyone wielding a weapon trying to move through these alleyways is going to be unable to swing it properly. Yet another way that the defenders can have a actionable advantage when fighting from a position. Anyone trying to enter the web is going to need to be fighting an uphill battle. Even those who fight with their fists are going to find themselves needing to move in a way that's going to constantly be switching the arm that has the most extension. Defenders can attack from above and below, and from the left and right side to whatever their optimal configuration is. Not to mention the J Corp locks should still be in place and allow the defenders to pop in and out of the battlefield, while the offending party is forced to only fight with whatever resources they can squeeze through the alleyways. If you get separated, follow the sound of my voice, but follow closely. The walls are designed to echo, and some of the split points are designed to project your voice through them, so if you get lost, you'll end up wandering around in circles through the alleyways and come out into choke points where you can be descended upon from above. The entire purpose of this labyrinth is to split and separate attackers, disorient them, and then leave you for the children to pick off. Eventually, you all come to the end of an alleyway where there is a building, but when Prior raps on the glass 3 times and then turns the doorknob counterclockwise, it opens into a long, still the same space, but it enters into this building that just basically consists of a spiral staircase going up with strangely slanted stairs that cause you to very easily slip and fall if you were to, say, be trying to fight and climb them at the same time. The sheer drop behind you would mean that any kind of loss of a footing would send you tumbling down the stairs to the bottom. He guides you up the staircases to a second floor outstretched, which then has a bunch of staircases leading down with windows on either side, where it looks like people with long weapons could poke and prod at you as you were trying to descend the perilous staircases back down to the alleyway below. The space is real, the architecture is real, and it seems that someone spent years designing every single corner and move to optimize the position of any defender holding off a small army. If I were to describe every trap you encounter on the near 20-minute walk through twisted alleyways, I would be here all day. So let us say that you feel eyes upon you no matter where you go. You're pretty sure it's intentional, but all in your mind. But eventually, the defendable positions begin to open up, the squeezing alleyways begin to become walkable, and the rough stone beneath your feet turns into perfectly smooth, well-maintained walkways. The neon begins to fade, and as you enter a final turn, Pryor holds his hand up and says, "Past this alleyway, we officially enter the web project. I don't think I need to give you all a very long list of rules. You've been to the training team. You know how I like to run my ship. Don't start a fight. Treat people with respect and integrity and dignity, and they will treat you with the same. I welcome all of you to the closest thing I could make to the world I wish to live in."
It feels as if you have stepped out of the back streets and into a nest. The neon lights are not so harsh here, diffusers working to lessen the glare, giving it a softer glow than the rest of District 23. Unlike the streets of Flavor, where the only people loitering about looked at you with hunger and suspicion, either waiting for you to drop their guard so they could secure themselves a meal, or afraid you would be the one to prey on them. People here are just standing about the square. You see people of all ages. An older couple sits on a bench, laughing and chatting with each other. Children run about, not covered in the muck and grime and blood that you, Merru, remember seeing those from the old watch house days coated in. There are smiles rather than sneers on the people's faces. The whole place almost seems to be from a different time. Scattered among the squares, the occasional member of the middle. None of them are causing trouble. None of them are antagonizing the civilians here. They're just milling about, a few even casually chatting with the townsfolk or one another. You notice that their tattoos resemble spiderwebs, and the books of vengeance strapped to their chains are locked tight. It seems that even in your absence, Pryor, certain traditions have continued. Strange-looking flowers bloom up from the ground. They're just weird-looking when you first see them. Pryor has a strange floral sense, or rather it would seem to be the case at a glance. Miix does notice that the flowers resemble what happened to Pryor when he corroded back at L Corp all those months ago against Yuna's distortion. You almost swear you see an eye watching you from inside the bloom, the way these flowers are pinned to clothes.
Miix will for sure bring that up to everyone. And thankfully is able to see this with like Merru and Yuna mentioning the little details.
If that's mentioned, Pryor does... He's awestruck. He hasn't said a word. He's come out, and it's like years of tension have left his shoulders. He looks half a decade younger as he looks over everything he left behind, perfectly, exactly as he remembered it, as he painted it across his vision long ago. Not a single scream of terror reaches his ear, not a single scent of death. Life as it's meant to be lived, people as they're meant to enjoy themselves. And as Miix mentions it, he does turn over his shoulders and go, "So Label's learned how to access the roots. He's working faster than I expected. That took me several decades to learn how to do." Well, he hasn't unearthed anything, so he at least hasn't gotten that far into his connection. But still, it's no concern. I doubt he has the affinity to do anything more than maybe see we've arrived. Perhaps that's what Mary intended. But regardless we have time. I welcome you all, my friends, my fellow managers, to the web project. Paradise, here in our city, a place where you all can relax and enjoy yourselves. You are friends here, and these are friends to you. There is nothing here to fear. Take a breath. The walk to the web should not be anything perilous. Enjoy yourselves. And Pryor smiles, and it doesn't split his face creepily. It glows out with the joy and love of someone finally returning home.
Pryor's presence has drawn the attention of those assembled in the town square. They begin to cluster around him, moving closer, eyes wide with awe, a mixture of surprise and excitement on their faces, and the whisperings growing into a chorus. "Lord Pryor! Big Brother Pryor! It's him! He's back! It's really him! He's returned! The Lord of the Web! The Big Brother! The rumors are true! He's come back to reclaim his throne! We've been waiting for you, Big Brother Pryor!" The people are, of course, respectful, keeping their distance, but you can see they've begun to crowd about you, eager to see your return.
Pryor turns on his heels, and his face is glowing, and he goes, "People of the web, people of my project, I have returned. I'm glad to see you in such high spirits, but please, I'm here on business. Do not take time out of your day. But it is a glad day. It is a beautiful day. The light shines, and I am back. Each and every one of you. You have done everything I have asked. You have lived. You have loved. You have enjoyed yourselves. And I promise each of you what I promised you all when you took up residence here. For some of you, in one lifetime. For others, in your parents', for some perhaps in your grandparents' lifetime. That I shall protect each and every one of you. This is your home. And I will do whatever it takes to keep it as such. Now go. Live, be merry, eat, work. It is only through all of us coming together that this place can exist, and the city can be made a little better. But it is good to see you all.
Most of the people disperse when you call that out to them. A light skip in their steps and smiles on their faces, though some of them do still crowd around and approach you, eager to address you, much like your training team clerks back in the L Corp facility.
I'm sure Pryor is respectful when they all come up. He shakes their hand, he gives them a smile, a pat on the shoulder. I'm sure he picks up a child at one point and puts them on his shoulder for a little bit as he laughs and everyone else needs a moment to think about what they're doing. Pryor does take a minute to greet his subjects and give each and every one of them a moment to express whatever's on their mind or in their hearts and address it as best he can.
As they get to this place, I think Merru's a bit, I don't know if taken aback is the right word. I mean, when he looks around, it's kind of hard to not, I mean, at least he would think, it's kind of hard to not think that this place looks nice. Like it looks really nice. Like kind of so nice that it kind of scares him. Because you know, he imagines, considering how everyone else, like these civilians are acting, that he should feel calm in this place. That seems to be what everyone else is doing, but I think he instinctively frowns a little bit, and he doesn't have his mask on because he lost his mask in the fight. So you're able to see him frown, because he was always taught, growing up in the back streets, the normal back streets, that to not trust things that look nice, because nice doesn't always mean kind. Because even back in the Watch, things weren't nice. They did their best with each other, but I don't know. This feels, I'm not really sure what to think of it. And I think as he stares at this picturesque kind of scene, his mind flashes back to thinking about the burning graves he left behind in his hometown. And he will think of Jackson, whose grave he destroyed, and internally he wonders what Jackson would think about this place, but he supposes he'll never know. So, he's not really sure what to make of this. It's strange. He's not used to Pryor being like this either. It's weird, but it's nice. So nice. It's something.
Kai looks around at the gathering of people, and for reasons he's not entirely sure of, feels a little claustrophobic. Not at the crowd itself, that's not something he's unused to, but more so weighed down by the old familiar feelings that leave him shrinking himself down to allow Pryor's subjects to get to him. It's been a while since he's been in this kind of situation, I suppose.
Miix looks around and her eyes have widened. This is so impossibly perfect, but she feels bile in the back of her throat, and for a moment she feels the hand of someone who isn't there on her shoulder, and in her head she just says, I know. It's not right. As she manages to shake away those phantasms in her head and just focuses on moving on from this place.
Is that him? The claw of the web? And Kai, you can see a couple people giving you glances and either respectful nods or smiles when they see you there.
God, that's unfamiliar. To be shown respect, especially by strangers. Kai will kind of jolt in surprise hearing his name, not followed by a derogatory term, and turn to said subjects that are bowing their heads and waving at him, and attempting to appear calm and collected, simply muster up a half smile and respectfully nod back in their direction, trying to confirm their positive suspicions without making himself look like a fool.
Oh my gosh, he spotted us. He nodded back. And Kai, you can hear the people whispering, excited, as they hurry off, clearly happy to be acknowledged by you, of all people, Big Brother Pryor's right-hand man.
Yeah, I think Kai's ears burn a little bit with something like embarrassment, and he will quickly turn away and look back at the crowd that has begun to disperse, that was coalesced around Pryor.
Pryor doesn't get separated. He's very careful not to separate too far from the group, but he does turn and tell them, as long as we keep each other in our line of sights, we're fine to spend a little bit of time. It actually might be a good idea to take a moment here before we head to the web. Besides, I have a feeling that, well, this is going to be our last chance to take a breath of fresh air. Pryor's actually going to see if he can pull Yuna aside, because it sounds like he actually does feel a little bad that he thinks he might have scared Yuna just a little bit with his bad temper before, and he does want to apologize. Yuna, I want to apologize. It was what I said to you on the streets of Flavor. It was improper, unprofessional. I hate those streets so much. Almost as much as I hate the people on them. And I couldn't hold those feelings inside of me, so I projected them. And yes, I know people are sick and tired of hearing me apologize for things, but I will still offer my deepest apologies. I meant to upset you.
It's all right. I didn't really like it out there on those streets either. It's much nicer in here. And Yuna sort of hesitates for a moment before saying, I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to address you here. All those people, when they ran up, it sounded like they all had a different title for you. I don't know. I know boss wants me to call her boss when she's around, so I don't know if there's something I'm supposed to call you while you're here, or...
Points for being polite. Yes, well, there's Big Brother, there's Architect, Immortal God King is one I've heard before. Frankly, it gets a little excessive. I made the mistake long ago of saying I didn't care what people called me, and so it became a sort of game of one-upsmanship, one could say. Everyone comes up with their own title, probably based on whatever thing or other thing I did around them, or someone called me something respectful and someone else thought that they would come up with a more respectful title. I really just don't see it all as it's very necessary, honestly. Pryor is fine. I didn't do all this for a title, despite what some people might think. I did this for them. For all of them, so I could see them happy. They look happy to me. So, no one's gonna bite your head off if you just call me Prior. And we're friend. Just whatever comes naturally to you. In this place, respect is something you give because it's right, not that you have to give because there are consequences. People here are more understanding of that.
Huh. That's good to know then, Prior. I admit it, surprises me a bit to hear that. I mean, just because of this place being in the back streets, seeing somewhere in the back streets like this, I didn't expect it to be so nice for people to seem so at peace.
Well, you have to remember, Yuna, when a wing falls, a nest becomes a backstreet. But over time, a new corp comes in and you get a new nest. Why do corps get to be the only ones with that power? Why can't we make our own nests? Why can't we build something better out of the backstreets? I mean, in fact, the corps are sometimes the part of the problem. A place like this, I don't think of it as part of the backstreets. It's the web project. It's something new. It's something fresh. It's something that could only exist here.
Huh. I suppose that makes sense. I guess try not to think too much about nests that fall, but you're right that when they do, something rises again. And I suppose I never thought about that disruption of the natural cycle of things.
Natural is a really nice way to put it, Yuna. There's nothing natural about the chaos and death that follows. I've seen a handful of wings fall in my time. It's always terrible, and it's the result of when leadership passes. There's always chaos, always violence, always bloodshed, greed, and avarice. It's why you need one leader who hopefully never leads to that kind of chaos.
I can't say I disagree on that. In order to keep a place safe and, organized. That said, that it's not enough to just have a leader. I had noticed and had wanted to ask something. This
No,
place.
of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, how much power does this place consume? It's gotta be crazy with all those diffusers and how cheery it is compared to, well, what's outside those walls. And then the fortifications I saw when you were leading us in here, those were some craftsmanship. Most people wouldn't have been able to pull off something like that. That's the sort of backing you'd think you need from a wing, right?
Well, as I was just saying about wings changing, this place predates the new L Corp, and, I suppose you're a little young to remember exactly how things were like under the old L Corp, but they were not a consistent source of power for the city. Brownouts, blackouts. I needed something more consistent. We needed something more consistent. None of the corps could be relied upon. We draw attention best. Verus at worst. No. Powering this place was one of the first things I had to solve when I took my place upon the throne. We needed to become independent. We needed to install the fortifications, but before we could do that, we needed to make sure that we could be self-sufficient. an infinite source of power is impossible, but impossible is the first hurdle one has to overcome. I found a workaround. It was temporary at first, and as my strength and knowledge grew, it became a more permanent solution. All the wires, all the electricity, it all goes back to N.E.O. I know I've described the device in terrifying terms, but it's nothing that scary, I promise you. It's grotesque, but an appearance can be deceiving. It's not fueled by human suffering. There is a price I paid that I regret to unlock its ability, and I wish, with the power of hindsight, I hadn't been pushed to take such desperate measures to unlock its power so quickly. I would have much rather preferred to take the slower, steadier route, but the threats that come from the city don't like to wait for us to always take the nicer option. Regardless, what's done is done. And thanks to the gifts of N.E.O, I'm able to keep this place bright, meet its power needs, even sell a little power on the side. One of the many reasons the middle was so happy to let me run my little operations in peace. I think that this place is special because of it. All of our gifts come from N.E.O, and to N.E.O we repay the excess bounty of our labor, and from that we make something special. I mean, with my authority, I was able to keep the syndicates clear of this place. I mean, yes, you see the children of the web around, but I promise they are mine. Raised in my club, by my orders, with my ideals. They're not the brutes you might have met otherwise. They are educated, taught morality, philosophy. They are students of different martial trades, and they keep their vengeance book locked as a promise to the people here that vengeance is something that is only written against the truly guilty who are given a fair chance to plead their case before justice is carried out. It's one of the many steps that was necessary to make this place peaceful, make this place worthwhile, give the citizens everything they deserve, a place where they can take their 8-hour days, 5 days a week. Sometimes they have to work a little overtime, but no system's perfect.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say 5 days a week? And
8-hour days, 5 days a week.
8-hour days. Yeah. But and up to this point prior, Yuna's been listening carefully. You can see the growing surprise on their face the more you talk. And as you mentioned this, they sort of seem to be doing these calculations in their head as they go, but hold on, K Corp, our 70-hour work weeks, those are considered, short for those among the wings, and I imagine I can't see how you'd be able to
Yuna. What did I say? This is a place outside the wing's influence. Imagine how much time, Yuna, did you have to enjoy yourself with a 70-hour work week? How many hours are even left in the week? I know you know the exact number. I'm asking a hyperbolic question. The first thing, 8 hours a day, a paid hour lunch, 5 days a week. If you have to work overtime, time and a half minimum, and no longer days than 12 hours. That is the absolute maximum you can ask an employee to work.
Wait. You said that lunch is paid.
Yes, of course. I mean, an unpaid lunch might incentivize people to work through their lunch period, and We're trying to build a community, Yuna, a place where people want to help each other. How do you get people to want to help each other? They must know each other, and to know each other, they need time to spend. I mean, when the children get out of school for their hour lunches, they want to go to their families. You need quality time.
The children have our lunches too.
Yes,
For their
of course.
schools.
And all the schooling is paid for. Not a single penny. The supplies, the time, the lunches, the meals, everything paid for. We want children to spend their time thinking and focusing on being able to evolve their interests and their talents into skills that'll make their labor worthwhile. In the back streets, I mean, people spend their entire life striving to get into a nest, but that's no way to live. I mean, we want these people to develop the talents that speak to them, because that's where the real innovation comes from. And if they're not doing that, they deserve to go out to the community garden and set down a picnic basket and just spend some time with their family.
Yuna looks baffled at this and says, I did not conceive that such a thing could be possible within the city. I mean, it'd be wonderful if that could be true, but...
Well, Yuna, do I have good news for you? It's only not that way because the people who run this city are simply awful. They're terrible people who cannot conceive of doing kind things for each other. There are good people in this world and there are evil. And unfortunately, evil people have a far easier time seizing the power necessary to extend their terrible reach, to put forces in place that allow them to take from you your strength that becomes more power for them to do more terrible things. I've had to do things I'm not proud of, but I always kept in my heart why I was doing it. And I was able to do it. I mean... Oh goodness, I can't conceive, and Yuna, I am dreadfully sorry of the life you must have had to live. I'm sure to you it was a blessed life, and I'm not saying it wasn't compared to the alternatives, but I don't want the good you see in your life to be the most people can strive for. I mean, goodness, I mean, Yuna, I can't imagine K Corp has very good retirement benefits.
Sorry, you said retirement benefits.
Yes, of course. I mean, age 65, you're retired, which means that the web project pays for everything. You don't have to worry about working a day over that. If you desperately want to work, you may of course do so, but there are stricter laws about your... We can negotiate, but no, goodness. At 65, you're done.
But,
Yes?
most people, you realize, even in the nest themselves, don't live to be that old in the city.
We're here at the web, we are proud to have an average lifespan of 88 years.
I'm sorry. Are all their lives extended by N.E.O here?
No, goodness, no. Just good old-fashioned healthcare. Paid for by the web project. I mean, we don't have a great number of doctors, and yes, we of course have to sometimes bring in medicine and outside help from beyond the web project into our fold. It's part of our ongoing recruitment, but my beautiful, wonderful daughter Perci provides us with many of the alchemical boluses and such we need to treat most common symptoms. We make sure that people, I mean, goodness, you talking about productivity, I mean, people aren't productive when they're sick, which is why when you're sick, paid time off. Your work cannot fire you or chastise you if you are ill and you need to take time for yourself. That is both if you are physically sick or mentally exhausted or overworked. Goodness knows, fatigue is as dangerous to one's ability to produce good work as physical illness.
I can understand. I mean, pay time off for a, physical illness, although usually we have ampules to just fix anything that's beyond repair to get right back into working. But you said for anything mental, that's just that.
I mean, I'm not talking about just large traumas, of course. Sometimes you just wake up and you go, today's just not going to be a day where I'm going to get a good day of work done.
Well, you just go to work and you get through that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, to a certain extent, we have to expect people to, work even when they don't want to. But, I mean, sometimes I think there should be some allowance in a society for people to just take at least a couple days off a year if they're just not able to summon the will. I mean, we have to be considerate to our neighbors. We have to be kind to people. That's what this is all about. And yes, we don't have fancy healing ampules, and sometimes people get sick and we can't treat it. We don't have the resources or the medicine. We don't have singularities. But we do have dental care.
You have dental?
Yes, of course. Fully covered by the web project. My daughter used to handle it all herself, but then she was able to train some people, and, I mean, what, you thought people had these pearly whites here for nothing? I mean, people want to smile each other when they walk by on the street. We gotta provide for that.
No, I'm just shocked such a place can exist. Wow. Fire, you're actually really competent when you have the time and resources, it seems. I mean, to be able to create a place like this, to be able to offer people such things, I mean, healing ampules cost so much to manufacture and distribute. The fact that it sounds like you're saying everyone here benefits from. I mean, I've seen the training team back at the facility. I've looked over all the files that Boss provided me with. I know that you have the lowest death rate there, and that the quality of care for that team, particularly back when the other departments weren't cooperating, was much higher. But even then, I know that the people there, I mean, I've seen how the facility is. Even if we now have, and it's clear he does not want to allude to Ange herself. The assistant.
Prior nods and goes, yes. First off, ouch. Actually competent when I have time and resources.
You all did not, when I first met you all, and for some...
I don't always make the greatest impression, I know. I can be... I'm sure you have many words that you're filling in the blank there. Petulant, irritating, disorganized,
impulsive. Yes, that was what I was thinking as one of them. Reckless.
Yes.
You have a tendency to jump into situations without fully thinking them through.
100%. Most definitely. Thank you. Yuna, I'm used to being strong enough to overcome those kinds of weaknesses. Maybe some of them were born from being weaker than I once was. I hope you can forgive my past natures when you see that this is the kind of strength I'm used to having. A kind of strength where people don't even have to have broken teeth. I can wave my hands and do those kinds of things for people. When people get ill, I can take their hands and look them in the eyes and promise genuinely from the depths of my heart that I can do something. I can heal them. I can get them what they need. And the training team was a pale imitation. It was the best I could do. And I couldn't give my agents the same freedom I can give the people of the web project because I didn't have the strength to protect them in the way I did these people. I had to turn each of them into a vessel, if nothing else, for my will, because I couldn't be there to help them if they were in danger. I needed them to act exactly as expected if I wanted them to make it out alive. They deserved so much better, and they still deserve so much more. But
I can understand very well feeling too weak to do anything. And no, I know though, and maybe that's the one concern I have, is that dependency they have. I mean, I know Kit's mentioned that the training team acts like a group of fanatics with their militant priorness that keeps them together, and perhaps
Kit.
I shouldn't have mentioned.
No. Kit and I have very well documented and known disagreements. Kit is very strong. They are, in my opinion, one of the strongest agents, if not the strongest agent in the facility. When they decide they want to be.
They are really strong.
And with that strength, they have a certain view on independence and freedom that I think they might have forgotten other people don't always get to share in. We all want to be independent. I mean, I want these people to be mostly independent of me. I want to fade into the background. I want to be a leader who sits on the throne and lets my kingdom move, only needing to intervene when required. But that's not always possible. And people who have the power to break their own chains often talk down to people who are simply not strong enough to escape their yoke. They say, "Why aren't you more independent? Don't you wish to be more independent? Don't you wish to be free like me?" Kit could wander down the streets of Flavor, free, and no one could touch them.
That's very true.
I cannot say the same for the citizens of this project. And I don't force this upon them. They choose to come here. They can choose to leave. No one here is trapped. The front way is the same way we came in. If they wish to go walk onto the streets of Flavor, leave my kingdom, start their own adventure, I wish them luck with a firm shake of the hand, and I hope they can find the strength to do good elsewhere in the city. But it's a sickness of the mind sometimes, I think. This desire to have the freedom. They don't ask the freedom to do what? Here people are free to help each other out, to pursue their passions, to hone their skills, to live a life with their family. They're not free to choose to hurt people. They're not free to choose to destroy everyone else's lives. It's not right for the strong to be able to choose to hurt the weak. All that choice needs to go to someone responsible. Because when no one responsible makes the right choice, terrible things happen.
I can't say I disagree.
But I'm... I don't want to linger on... Hey, Yuna, do you have any on in your pocket?
And Yuna goes to check their pocket and says, a little. I mean, I always carry some in case of an emergency, but I didn't have much when we all had to escape from K Corp, and I don't have much of the...
That's no problem here. What, does boss not pay you? I'm joking, I know money's tight. Tell you what. You've got some on in your pocket. And thank you for listening. So as a thank you, why don't you head to that bakery right over there? I know the guy who runs it. He looks a little older than I remember, but I helped him out of a jam. I actually helped him get set up in this bakery when he and his family wandered in here being pursued by a small syndicate.
Hold on. You know the baker personally. You helped that man out personally back then.
Yes. Yes, of course. I mean, the children can only reach so far. They are an extension of my arms, my eyes, my ears. But a good king is there for each and every one of his subjects. I mean, I help people move into their apartments. I help people clean the soot out of their chimneys. I'm there for them. And I know each one of these people. Maybe not some of the kids. Maybe they're now after my time, but each and every soul here is a part of me. They gave me their strength, and in return, I gave them a promise. So, yes, even the baker. And he has the freshest sweetbread you will ever eat in your life. So just go in there, tell him that Big Brother Pryor sent you, and tell him to put it on the web's tab. I'm sure that once we take over the, everything, that'll all be sorted.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you sure I should be putting it on the web's tab?
Trust me. They know I'm good for it.
I guess I'll go get some bread then. And Yuna looks to you, Pryor. Actually looks at you this time, and there's a different look than usual in their eyes. You're used to that more piercing, suspicious gaze, but it has softened, and they seem to have relaxed. Being in this place, hearing what it was like before, and seeing what it's continued to be. Thanks, Pryor. And their face flushes red as they say, I'll go get some bread now, then, and be off.
Thank you for forgiving me, and thank you for listening. I hope in the future you can live in a place as peaceful as this.
Yuna doesn't respond as they turn and hurry off to the bakery, but you do hear them mutter under their breath as they do Pryor. I hope I can too, and that more places can be like this one.
Pryor watches Yuna go with a smile on his face as he goes, I didn't ask Yuna about K-Corp's policy on maternity and paternity leave. We offer fully covered benefits, but I want to make sure that the wings aren't outpacing us. God, I'd die of embarrassment if any wing had better coverage than we did. Plus, maybe we need to revisit the retirement benefits. Maybe, what else can I work on once we retake the web? Childcare? Childcare was something I was working on implementing. I wonder if Mary was able to follow through on it. Pryor begins to mutter to himself as he stalks around, thinking of all the little things, newer things, bigger things, better things he can build. After all he did to get this far, it would be a sin to waste that strength and not turn it into something good for the people who are around to enjoy it. They expect more of him. He will give in. He will give them more. He will give them everything that they expect.
Kai's been looking around and reminiscing a little bit. He didn't want to interrupt Pryor and Yuna's conversation, but I mean, if he's at all free, he might attempt to approach.
Yeah, Pryor is just muttering to himself. Kai's probably seen Pryor like this many times, even... In fact, it's probably a reminder of back in the day where Pryor would be pacing the web, lost in thought, designing, planning, building in his mind.
Kai will then walk up next to Pryor, trying not to startle him too much, and he'll say, "I know you remember everything, but I'm surprised I remember it like I was here yesterday. When I was your right-hand man."
Pryor leaves his thoughts as he turns to give Kai his full attention.
Well, I know that it's maybe not the part that you like to think about so much, but I always think back fondly on working to achieve your vision and keeping the peace. He looks off into the distance at an area of where they are and sort of gestures a hand where he can envision the memory of, I suppose, nail marks from dragging someone at some point. I remember enforcing your laws and tracking down naysayers that had been spreading libel about yourself and your empire.
You were instrumental. Back in those days when the Syndicate Wars were at their peak and the Red Mist was out and about. So many people slipped into the web project, more than I could keep my hands on. Those who wanted to exploit us for our resources and our power. Fixers. Butchers. Those who wanted to see our empire crumble. Pryor, the R slipped out so easily that he sort of chuckles a bit. You were... I know we've had a lot of talks about... Oh, no, that's a lie. We've had the opposite of talks about back then. But... you were my arms where I couldn't reach, both in the project and without. I couldn't have done it without you, Kai. I only wish you could have gotten to enjoy the more scenic, idealistic aspects of your labor, but you wished for something else from me, and I only hope I was able to provide it.
You know, the nice life, I can appreciate that your subjects, or your other subjects appreciated it, but I never felt that it was for me. I never minded. I enjoyed doing I suppose, what you might call the dirty work to keep your dream alive. If it feels barbaric to look back on slitting vocal cords and bringing people to you to dole out your punishments on, I can reminisce by myself, but it's nice to think about sometimes.
The enemies of the web were numerous, ascending. They drove me to do things that I would have never wanted to do. I look back and I only hope that my punishments were fair and even-handed. I tried to save those that I could. I tried to take those who weren't beyond saving and make them productive members. I tried to make sure the punishment fit the crime. I tried to help those who wanted to be helped. But so many had to meet the gears of N.E.O. You were important for that, Kai. I couldn't be everywhere at once, not then. But thanks to your work, we unlocked more secrets of N.E.O, and I was able to do more to protect the people, to stop that kind of filth from coming into my empire before I had to resort to violence to solve it. You were an important part of me, an important part of this place. You deserve to look back on those times with something akin to happiness, because you brought happiness to a lot of people.
Thank you. I can only hope the same for you. I know that you carry perhaps some guilt for the decisions that you made, but I believe that I trust your dream implicitly. I trust your judgment implicitly, but I also think that looking back and wanting to do things differently is just part of human nature, even for someone that I used to find infallible.
I never wanted to be infallible.
Good. I thought
Thank you.
got pretty close.
I could always rely on you. And I'm sorry that when we met in the facility, I was such a damaged, far more fallible version of myself that I made you suffer. You and I have been through so much, Kai.
A lot has changed, but I am happy to know all of the yous that I've known.
I only hope I can continue to evolve. There are parts of me I refused, and I've always refused to let N.E.O change, but there's so much of me that is still imperfect, and Pryor's smile falls for a moment and he goes, once at the start of this journey, you said some things to me that were very important for me to hear, but I wasn't yet ready to hear them. That my obsessions were changing me in a way that wasn't productive. I'm not going to ask you for anything right now, but I am going to just say thank you for all you've done for me, Kai. And even if I don't always reflect it in the moment, your thoughts on me and my actions do play back in my mind. I look fondly at what we've been able to accomplish, and I value you, even now, as an important part of my story. And I hope I can continue to be a part of yours. You deserve a lot, Kai, for all you've done. And I hope one day I can help find a reward for you that is worthy of the work you've put in.
I don't know what that would be, but I can say that the warmth, the fondness of the memories I have of this place, even with some of the negatives, I suppose, it's a lot of the good that I can think back on, and I feel that that is the greatest gift that I have had bestowed upon me.
Prior smile returns. Well, in that case, this place it really is just how I remember it. It's worth keeping like this. I regret the things I had to do, but I don't regret the fact I had to do them. I think you of all people understand that, Kai.
Kai nods, while still looking out on the town square, kind of projecting memories onto places that he's seen cracks in walls that have since been refilled with concrete. It's not all blood and guts, but it is all memories that were made in the name of defending what Prior's dream was. Yeah, I think I do understand.
Prior gives Kai 2 firm pats on the shoulder and goes, well, we'll have a chance to keep this place safe yet again. But don't worry, I won't forget what we're here for. First the facility, then saving the world. Just small, easy to achieve dreams for the two of us, eh?
I don't feel it's as impossible as some might think it is.
I would agree. But so many people they don't even think to try.
I believe in the dream that I met you having, and while I have grown to care for perhaps more than one person, that dream still does very much live within me, and I will go to the ends of the earth trying to achieve it with you.
I couldn't have asked for a better hand to have along the road. Prior smiles at Kai, in that soft way that he did once, long ago, back before desperation caused by his weakness, desperation caused by L Corp, tainted his expressions forever.
And Prior, hi. While you two are having your conversation, Yuna returns from the bakery with a loaf of bread. The top has been bitten off, and they're chewing on something in their mouth. Yuna sorta hovers a ways away from the two of you, unsure if they should approach or not wanting to interrupt the conversation.
Prior The eyes of nothing there catch Yuna, and Pryor turns his head and goes, Yuna, how's the bread?
Yuna swallows and nods their head. It's good. Do, either of you want some? And they kind of hold out the loaf to the two of you.
Pryor smiles and holds up a hand and goes, the taste is wasted upon me. Though Kai, you want some bread?
Thank you. Can you break off a piece for me? I've been oddly hungry all day and I don't want to accidentally scarf down half of your loaf.
Yuna nods their head. Yeah, sure. Here. They break off a piece from the top and hand it to you, Kai.
Kai will gently take it and try to chew for as long as he can before it gets gross in his mouth to trick his brain into believing that he's eating more than he is.
Thanks, again, Kai, for looking out for me back there on the streets outside. Yuna looks to the side, flushing a bit, getting the words out.
Oh, I think it just registered to Kai that that's something that would be thanked for. That was just kind of a default action for him. Sure, anytime. Consider the bread repayment for that. We're good. There's no need to...
Right, consider the bread my payment then. I'm gonna just go look around the square a bit more. And Yuna hurries off, flushed.
Pryor puts a hand over his shoulder and says, I'm actually going to take advantage of this time. I've been trying to collect some information from the people I've been greeting about what's actually going on here. I know it just looks like I'm wandering around, but I'm gonna go see if I can gather anything else, maybe something on Abel or what's been going on here recently. But we'll have time to reminisce when this is all over.
Understood. Thank you for entertaining me for this time, though.
Thank you for, after all this time, still giving me time. And Pryor says quietly, time continues to be the hardest resource to come by. But we make it anyway.
Kai will step away from Pryor to allow him to go back to his investigations.
And Pryor, as you talk with the people in the town square, trying to learn all you can about the politics of the web, in your absence, Miix, is there anything you would like to do?
I think Miix will go up to Merru and I think it's probably like a little further away from the crowd, probably up against one of the buildings. Miix says, how are you, Merru? How are you doing?
I think when Miix approaches Merru, yeah, he's definitely against one of the walls, and I think Meru's been, observing, I guess, people watching, you could say. I think he's probably been watching some of the playing kids, the civilians, and I think Miix can see that there's a frown still on his face, as he had been remembering when he was, when he'd watched Berg and the other kids in the neighborhood, wonders if Berg had fun, if Berg even, how much he missed them, or if he had mostly forgotten until now. He's just been wondering about Vienna, how much she walked these streets, and if she was happy here, because she didn't seem happy. And that makes him think of Zachary, because to him, the reason she was unhappy was because of Zachary. And so when Miix asks if how Meru's holding up, I think he's tempted to just say that he's fine and move on like he normally does, but he's not fine. I think, like, he is, but he's like so conflicted right now. and he can feel that red cloth constantly brushing against his wrist. Like, he feels kind of bad. So I think he'll turn his head to look at Miix and think about how she had said that before that she was in his corner. Prior had said that too, but Merru's still not sure what to make of their talk or the promises Prior made to him in the past. So Merru will force himself to not let this moment slip by, I think, and he will let out a little sigh and just say, I don't know, Miix. And then he'll kind of furrow his brow and shake his head a little and just go, it's kind of a lot to take in, everything that happened. I mean, I know you've heard a little bit about what happened from Yuna, but if you're curious, the gist of it basically was just Zachary was trying to get through to me, like trying to get to me through Yuna, and he basically threatened to kill Yuna and almost did it, and then we had to fight. Yuna, I tried to keep Yuna away from him, and it didn't work. And he almost killed me after Yuna went down. So, I had to kill him. Like, I'm glad I did, I think, because, I know you didn't know him, but he was hurting Vienna and even Berg, and, that's my family, and he was hurting me, and he wanted me dead, so I killed him first, because I deserve to live. So, and I think Merru then realizes he was kind of rambling a little bit, and so he'll stop himself and just shrug and go, so I don't know how I'm feeling right now. Kind of bad, I think.
Miix is quiet. She just listens and thinks for a bit and then says, I guess because you thought it would be cathartic and then it wasn't.
I think when Miix says that, Merru pauses for a second because, that's exactly it. He couldn't really think of the word cathartic, but now that Miix says it, he nods and he goes, yeah, no, that, I guess so. I've mentioned the weird thing I have going on with Reddy, right? A while ago. I know you all asked me about it. You remember that? You've seen it. You've seen it since. I know I've been a bit cagey about it. I know I'm like that. But maybe. And Merru thinks that, maybe if he is a little more open, maybe that's when he'll start feeling better. And so he'll kind of glance around a little and just goes, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Well, I didn't really don't really think I've given this much info to any of the others, but, a while ago, before I distorted and all of that, I wasn't doing too hot, and I know it's not great to confide in abnormalities. I think I know that more than most people. But Reddy's always been pretty simple to me, and she's offered to help me in the past, so I was kind of stuff with Miss Ange. I was kind of freaking out. So I went to Reddy to I don't know, like kind of stabilize myself, I guess. When I talked with Reddy, she offered to spot me, to help me find, my own wolf and kill it. And she gave me this, and Merru will lift up his right arm and pull back his sleeve just a little bit to show the red cloth. And he goes, she gave me this from herself, and, when I've needed her, she's just kind of been there. I said it was just to, help me with my close range fighting. And that's true, I wasn't lying. That I did need help with that. And she has helped me with that. But this is kind of like Freyschutz, but with no contract, just kind of a spoken deal. And I guess in my mind, I started thinking that Zachary was my wolf, but I don't. She told me that once I killed my wolf, I'd feel better. Like, everything would start feeling better, and I don't know. I haven't felt any better since I killed him. Like, I'm glad he needed to die. He needed to die, but I don't feel better. I guess the word is cathartic. It was supposed to be cathartic, and I feel sick and bad. Even here, this stupidly nice place, I feel bad about everything still. And I don't know why.
Maybe you don't have a wolf.
What? Well, no, I do. But I don't. It was him. I don't know if maybe it's like a delayed reaction. I don't know. I've just kind of been waiting and hoping that it, it will just kind of happen.
When I say you don't have a wolf, I mean, maybe there's not someone who you can just kill. That'll make your world magically better.
I feel like Pryor said something similar like that to me when I tried talking to him. I know, but I just, killing Zachary would mean that Vienna doesn't have to deal with him anymore. And the reason why Vienna and I are having issues is because of the shit that Zachary said to her. And when he's gone, then she'll stop having him in her ear, and then she'll realize that, he was wrong, and that I was right, because I was right.
But it's... maybe you're not... Maybe the real challenge isn't necessarily killing Zachary, it's seeing Vienna again. And talking to her.
That's true. Maybe I won't feel better till I talk to her. You're right. Maybe killing him was just step one.
I think so, at least.
Maybe. I guess I just gotta kind of wait it out. That's true. Yeah.
That's what this is all for, right?
I'm sure she won't be mad at me for too long. Yeah. Yeah, and Merru will nod his head. He seems a bit calmer now. And then he'll just go, yeah, that's you're right, I think. It'll just take a little bit more time. But yeah. Don't tell the others that Reddy has been telling me to kill my wolf this whole time. I've been very good at handling her.
For what it's worth, I think we've all had issues with abnormalities, but I won't tell anyone.
That is true, I think. Thank you. And when Miix says the thing about everyone having issues with abnormalities, Merru will briefly, like, his eyes will narrow, not in like a, I don't know the right word, more just kind of like he's thinking, because he knows that him and Miix have talked about abnormalities in the past, in a not nearly as friendly way as this, but he'll tilt his head a little and go, was there anything going on with you that I didn't know about from before?
Well, Miix gives like a bit of a wry smile. Yeah, there's a lot.
And Merru immediately gets more like, a little more awkward, but you could tell he's trying to reciprocate. And when he goes, did you wanna, I have ears. I can listen if you wanna talk about it.
I have something I need to do too.
Oh?
Miix leans against the wall and looks up. Snow Queen. And Miix raises her left hand and rubs her cheek. She gave me a task. Or a challenge? Sure.
Challenge.
I have a duel that I'm to win.
A duel? Huh.
Part of why I haven't been using my ability.
See. I mean, I guess that's kind of similar, in a way, to my thing. Fight you have to win. But, I know Snow Queen's not anything like Reddy, so, I know you used to have her ego. I didn't realize you were still, like, visiting that unit.
Well, the ego is important to me, and she's someone who has helped me a lot.
And then Merru will give a glance at Miix's current ego and just go, I don't know if this matters at all, but my opinion, I preferred you with that ego. So, whatever the duel is, I hope you win.
Knight of Despair isn't so bad. But
I guess. The other one. Fly face.
oh,
I never liked the guy. He's in my. I never liked him. I never liked him. Annoying.
well, Miix grins. For the brief moment that Dofratius entertained me back in Encore. Is it again? Not Encore. You know the one, the village.
How?
Owl, right?
Ugh,
Miix
that
like
place. Don't
rubs her
remind me of that
forehead.
place.
She says, against Encore, for the brief moment that he deigned to honor me with his presence, I was not particularly fond of him either.
You don't have to talk about him with such whatever that. You don't have to be like Dane with his whatever. I don't like him either. He's my contractor. I don't.
My point
I don't-
is that when
yeah.
I used Magic Bullet, I was not a fan of his presence. It's part of why I pushed you to tell me about your relationship for so long.
Makes sense. I mean, you get used to him, I guess. But
I could say the same thing about the funeral.
It's
At the very
different.
least. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's different, but whatever.
Funeral is. Well, I don't know how to describe our relationship. I'm not sure. I just know we have our goals and now they align.
Well,
Besides, the egos I have now and even Frostwinter, at least they are ones I am suited towards. Compared to the ego I tried to use before then.
Merru won't really comment on that. He'll just kind of shrug and go, I suppose your current ego is helpful. At least.
What do you think of this place? Miix says, and she pushes herself off the wall.
Merru hesitates and then lowers his voice and he goes, it's a little weird. Listen, where I grew up, if I had walked into a place like this, I was always told not to trust a place like this, but I don't know. It's certainly interesting. I don't know. I kind of want to get out. But we have a job to do, so a job we will do. You know?
Miix nods. And unless asked, she will not share her opinion on the place, and she will step forward and say, "We should probably get back to the others."
Yeah, Merru won't ask just because he's not sure how much he wants to delve into that. But there, I don't know. He kind of has a feeling that him and Miix tend to, when they're calm around each other, they tend to sometimes be on the same page. So he kind of assumes that there's not a bunch of disagreement if Miix doesn't voice that. So he just kind of nods and goes, "Yeah, I'll stay here for a little longer. Till we gotta go." So. Thanks for checking on me.
Anytime.
And as Merru stays here for a moment, watching over the square, Miix goes to find Prior, who happened to be looking for her also.
Miix! Hope you're enjoying your time in the town square. Is everything to your liking?
Miix has her arms crossed as she looks around at the area and then looks back at Prior. And she says, it's very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. No, Miix, we haven't always seen eye to eye on everything. I'm not sure if you even remember it. You probably do. But back in the facility, you used to think of me as a kind of corporate lapdog. I know that, and I know we're well past that phase of us knowing each other, but my militantness, my drive, my dedication to order. Of all the managers, I wanted you to see it. We've discussed many times that I have been very harsh with you, harsher than I have on most of the other managers, and it's because I saw the potential for us to see eye to eye on something, and I realized my foolishness was believing that you would see why how I am is worth it until you're a woman of education and factual basis. Well, here is my results. This is the experiment, the hypothesis proven. The web project. Everything you and I both want for the city. A place where people are happy, where they live fulfilled, long lives. A place where anyone can come and settle if their intentions are good and their desire is to help the fulfillment of others. You agreed with me that the Euro DBA, as much as they were well-intentioned, are too slow. You agreed with me that the performative cruelty of the wings is too much of a burden for its own population to bear. So I give you why I am the way I am. I give you the web project. I give you children playing and laughing. I give you the street vendors laughing and smiling. I give you the old couples holding hands with wrinkled skin. They were able to grow themselves from years of joy and dedication. It's perfect. It can always be improved, but it's the path there. It's everything you and I want from the city.
Is that what you say? And
Prior looks like there's a
Miix-
crack on the wall he's missed. Like Miix is seeing
Miix-
something he's not.
Miix gives Prior a look of disapproval, disappointment, pity, even. And she says, I see a place where only one person can keep it stable. I see a place where those like Zachary can exist. I see a place that's flawed. I'll admit, you've built something beautiful here. Something perfect. But that's only an appearance. It's fragile. If I compared this place to the settlement we saw, compared you to Noah, this place is like a plastic fruit compared to that.
Briar's smile doesn't move from his face. His eyes seem to churn with calculations in the back of his head, and his next words are chosen very carefully. I know that just like when you saw that encampment, it can be a little hard to believe that such a place can exist. I get it. Plastic might seem how this place looks. How could something this pretty, this perfect exist? But I've been here for decades. It's not plastic. It's stone, hewn from the wills of the people who want to live here. And I'm not going to knock Noah. I have a great deal of respect for her. But when I arrived, that settlement is... I mean, it's good that it exists, but their defenses were pitiable. The second that they attracted attention from something bigger than them, they would be crushed. Noah was stronger, surely, than she let on, but she was not strong enough to keep that entire encampment on her shoulders. And I understand what you're saying, that this place relies upon me to exist, but... I mean, Miix, let's be honest here. Everywhere in the city relies on the strong. I mean, the G Corp encampment relied on Noah. I mean, the city relies on the arbiters and the claws. The middle relies on their big brothers and their great brothers, and so on and so forth. The index relies on the gods of the city. And now we've met a blood fiend, and even they seem to depend upon their progenitors. It's the way of the world. Places can only exist so long as a singular guiding force propels them forward. What would independence from me be for these people, Miix? Oh, jerky in the streets of flavor? I mean, let's be honest here, Miix. These people aren't exactly making it in the rest of W Corp's backstreets. Would you rather... Let's consider this, that let's consider your hypothetical, in fact, that, they're over-dependent on me. Sure, I'm not here. The web project falls apart. They would just be dependent on Butcher, or the Nest, or another big brother, or someone else. I get what you're saying. Sure, in an idealistic world, everyone is their own empire upon themselves, but that sounds like a rather lonely world. There needs to be a community, and for there to be a community, there needs to be a leader, and for that leader to be effective, they need to be a pillar, an unshakable, unchanging pillar that others can rely upon. That comes with some dependence, doesn't it, Miix?
You're a dictator. You control these
Yes.
people's lives. You don't give them a choice, Prior. That's the issue. Are they really coming together because they chose to? Or are you just making them? You're not healing the wound. You're just putting a bandage on it and hoping for the best. You're not letting people truly come together. Yes, you did help Noah's settlement. That's true. But that wasn't wrong, and those people had already made the choice to come together, to help each other. There was already fertile soil there. This place, this soil, it's just dirt and gravel. There is no real growth here. There aren't people here that come together necessarily because of their own choice. That's what's wrong, Prior. Because people should be. They should be choosing. This is just like a nest. That's all you've done. You've just created a nest. A place where those who have been given are separated from those who haven't. The haves and the have-nots. The streets of flavor are right outside. This is a cage. I can't deny that this place has brought good for some. I'm glad to see children who run around in the streets who are happy. I'm glad to see old couples together. But at what cost? And how much does it take for you to keep this up? And can you be trusted to do it, Briar? Because throughout our entire journey, what's to say you won't distort again? What's to say you won't be hurt again? And what's to say more Zacharys won't come? Are you truly caring for the people within? Are you thinking about them? About how to make these people better? It's not right. This is fake.
It's fake. Fake. Decades. Fake. Life were fake. God, nothing will ever be good enough for you, Miix, will it? Nothing I could show you would be worth it. Nothing. Fake. Fake. This. Fake. Fake flowers, fake buildings, fake happiness, fake joy, fake freedom, fake. Is that all you think about, Miix? Whether things are fake or not, whether things are propped up or not. Miix, is that all you fucking think about? No. This is just gonna become another yelling match. I have tried so hard to convince you, so tell me, Miix, what's gonna convince you? What matters? Oh, you get so sad when people die. People die. I want to stop people from dying. Here's a place where people don't die. But then you're like, oh, but are they just slaves? Are you a dictator? These people work 40 fucking hour weeks. I give them days off. I give them dental. I give them fucking medical. I sweat my ass off so that these people aren't slaves. They don't even have to work if they don't want to. We have a social safety net. We open career opportunities. I do everything so these people don't feel like slaves. They can pursue their own ambitions and their own freedoms within structures. But when I do that, then the next thing you say is that They don't make the choice. They don't get the choice. Miix, why are you so fucking obsessed with the choice to hurt people? Because that's the only choice I don't give them. You're right, I guess I'm a fucking dictator. You're right, I'm a massive tyrant because I saw the sickness is that everyone's so obsessed with this self-purported freedom and the right to choose to hurt each other. Guess what, Miix? You're right, I took their choice away from them. I took the choice to hurt each other away. I took the people who wouldn't stop choosing to hurt others away. I tracked them down and I gutted them and I threw them into a machine where their filthy, unrelated meat would be able to be used to protect those who actually wanted to do good things. Because this city is powered by the sacrifice of good people. I wouldn't stand for that. You haven't seen the injustices I've seen. You haven't been forced to watch the injustices I've seen. And I know you've gone through your own things, Miix, but I have a few more decades to watch the horrors than you do. And in all that time, I thought this would be enough. I thought you would see this and know it was enough. It's not perfect, but it's the best anyone can do in this city, and I'm trying to make it better. I'm trying to build upon it, but you cannot build upon order without law. They are interlinked concepts, and law and order detest freedom. Because freedom is this thing everyone always whines and kowtows about. I just don't care. I don't care if these people are free. If they want to be free, they can leave. The front door's open. They can walk onto the streets of Flavor and be free to become a pie, or be free to become a steak, or be free to become a trash bag in an alleyway, rotting until their stench fills the air. I don't care about freedom. I care about keeping this place safe. And in that safety, they can live whatever lives they want to live. Happiness doesn't require freedom. Happiness just requires an ambition to tie themselves to. And so much as they are willing to tie their ambitions to me, I can make them happy. I can live the dream for all of them. This is as good as it gets in the city, Miix. One day at a time. I give them a happy day, and if they have complaints, I hear them, and I give them a happier day tomorrow, and a day after that. It takes sacrifice and things I'm not proud of. I've killed so many people. Rivers of blood flow under this web. But you know why I did, Miix? Because no matter how many people I killed, I always kept one thing in perspective. Who am I fighting against? The powers that be? The people who are coming into the web to destroy it? They've killed so many more than I ever have. So what if I have to kill 1,000 to stop someone who's killed 10,000? So what if I have to kill 10,000 to stop someone who's killed 100,000? So long as I am better than what I'm fighting against, then I cannot be evil, and what I'm doing cannot be wrong. I must keep perspective in mind, Miix. If every single day I am fighting an evil greater than myself, then any evil is justifiable, so long as I do not surpass the evil I wish to overtake. And sure, you can sit here and judge me. You're right, I should have never seized power. I should have never killed 1,000 people, and I should have let this project be wiped away, and I should have let this just be another street on the street of Flavor where far more people than I've ever killed would have died on these streets free of my tyranny, free of my overlordedness. Is that what you want, Miix? Do you not hear the suffering, the screams, the people, the ghosts of the people who would have, could have, and should have died here had I not intervened?
You compromised. This is good enough for you. You've made a utopia within a system that is corrupt and flawed to the very core. I'm criticizing you because this is all that we have. This is all that there will be. That doesn't change anything. You haven't dealt with the problem of this just being another nest. That doesn't change the suffering of the people outside. That doesn't change this entire world. You talk about changing the world, of not being able to wait. But this place, you've just stopped. You've gotten to a point where you can say, it's as good enough. And chose to be satisfied by that. You're a tyrant. And what happens when you're gone? Because you will not live forever, even if you will live for a very long time. Who's to say that anyone who comes after you will share those ideals, unless you start, once again, taking other people's lives for the greater good. Unless you start doing that, and even then, you're not the only one who can take control of this place. There's someone else who's in control of this place now. And that's the issue. Is that this place, it's just fragile, and it's not gonna last. It won't last past you. Who knows if it'll even last with you? And what happens to the people outside? What happens to the people in the other districts? What happens to the people all across the city? Do they just have to die because they were unlucky to be born anywhere that isn't here? Because that's all it is. It doesn't change anything. You've just become as bad as all the other corporations. You don't bring people to this place. And if they don't agree with you, you just kick them out? That's not right. The people need to be given a choice, not just here, but everywhere. The system of just letting people's fate be decided by where they were born? How can you accept that?
Compromises must be made to make things
Never.
real. Yes, Miix, or else people will die. I can only protect those I can reach, and that is why N.E.O is so important. You don't get it. I want to cradle this entire city in my hands, Miix, but they are only so big. So yes, I've compromised. Yes, I've killed. You think I wanted to? I held my brother Hamlet's head, my big brother, the man I respected more, and I pushed his head into the gears of N.E.O. I felt him squirming beneath my grasp as it ripped him apart until I had everything he was. And that was the first time I took a life, and I don't regret it because it gave me the strength to take his empire. It belonged to me, and once it was mine, I saved those people. I saved all these people. These people are saved now. They are salvation. Their salvation is my salvation. It is my empire, and I will save them all. I'll make this place big enough, and I won't have to compromise later. But today I must compromise. Today I must do what needs to be done. Today I will kill, and I will rip apart, and I will tear their heads from their shoulders. I will suppress the dissonance, and it will all be worth it because I can look out, and I can see children playing, and I can see people loving each other, something I never ever saw growing up in this city. Miix, you do not understand how terrible it is to be born into this poverty, into this hell of this city. You don't get it. And you will never fully understand my misery. forced to watch the people I love, who is everyone who doesn't deserve to die in front of me, and being told, you're not strong enough. Well, I'm strong enough now. I'm strong enough to push the rest of them down. I'm strong enough to take those choices away from them. Like an adult taking taking the knives from children so they don't stab each other. So I never have to watch another child die. So no one here has to die. I'm strong.
Breaks my heart, Briar. That's what breaks my heart. Because you, with N.E.O, you of all people, could have. You had the time. You could have gone beyond this. But it's too late.
There's no beyond this, Miix. This is the most we can ever hope for. Because most people aren't like you and me. They're filth, Miix, and you can try so hard to save them. And you can try so hard to find the humanity in their hearts, but you tear those hearts open, and it's just meat. Meat and blood and violence. So I save those I can. And I make the most of those I can't, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is the limitation of what it means to be human. And N.E.O has made me so much more for so much longer. And I hope beyond hopes that maybe if I learn more about N.E.O, give me another 100 years, give me another 1,000 years, I will solve these problems. But I'm not a bad person, Miix. I'm the best person I know. And that scares me. Because you don't get better than me in this city. I am the pinnacle of what is human. And my morality is the highest morality you can hold while actually building something that will stay together.
You might be the best person in the city. And that's why the city needs to change. I'm not gonna compromise on my ideals. I'm not gonna compromise on my dream. Briar, I'm sorry. It will never be good enough because it can always be better. And those who follow you and your dream, knowing full well of what it takes, you're all delusional. You're just fooling yourselves. So, I'm sorry. I will never be satisfied. Because it's the hunger for a better world that creates one for everyone.
Don't you see I'm hungering? Don't you see I'm hungering too? That's what I saw in you, Miix. That hunger, that drive, that desire. I would be overjoyed if you found a better way, but Miix, every time I ask you, what about the people today? What about the people suffering right now? You don't have a better answer than me. I know my answer isn't perfect, Miix, but I have an answer. A solution. If you find it insufficient. It's the best one I found. But... my ambition worked. Look at it. Look at the results of everything I ever worked for. And it's gonna get bigger. It will cover this whole city eventually. I'm going to keep pushing onward, Miix. I will protect the people I can today, and I will fight against anyone who wants to stop me. And every day I will find a bigger, greater threat, and I will do what needs to be done to crush it. And then when I crush it, I'll move on to the next, and the next, and then the next one after that. And when I am done, there will be nothing in the city that stands in my way.
Seems we're opposed on this.
Seems we are.
I only hope I can show you my own way before it's too late.
Miix, I have one question for you.
What is that?
Do you truly think if I wasn't in power, that things would turn out better?
I think so.
Thank you for your honesty. I know it might not sound like it, but I do value what you have to say about me. And I am truly sorry that there is still some deficit, some flaw in who I am that makes you unable to understand why I must do this. And I only hope that as I continue, and as N.E.O makes me a better person, that I will become more perfect enough to either understand you or help you understand me.
Well,
Something
Prior.
is rotten in the state of this city, and I will root it out.
Well, Prior, I can only hope that the world that I want to create won't end up becoming one of your threats in the future. And Miix will turn after having said that and sigh and say, we should go find the others.
It seems that that is the only route left to take. It's about time we started making our way to the web.
But before you two can rejoin with the rest, the lights dim. The diffusers over the web begin to close. Emergency lights come on. The bright purple lights begin to dance. And, Merru, with your successful intuition awareness roll, you can see that not all the lights are alarms. Children of the web move through the cover atop the buildings, their tattoos lighting up in that same purple, camouflaging them.
That's weird. Well, I think as Merru notices this, he immediately, springs to attention, and he'll kind of rush over to the others and kind of try to gather them closer as quickly as he can to let them know what's going on.
You can do so, Merru. And as you all gather, that is when the strange flowers open, and within them are eyes. The pupils expand and open up, revealing rows and rows of teeth, and then they begin to shriek. The screams fill the square. The civilians begin to scramble in an orderly manner. Unlike the night in the back streets, people begin throwing their doors open and waving others in so everyone can find shelter at the nearest place, and no one is locked out. The town square quickly empties of anyone but you, managers. And then the intercoms come back on, playing soft music, trying to drown out the screams of the flowers. And managers, here with you all surrounded by the children of the web, I think is the perfect place to have our intermission.
Oh boy.
Yeah, okay.
See you all after
Oh.
intermission.
Lord Godfather, there is blood on your name. A young woman approaches you all, flanked by children of the web. Her skin is gray. Her neck tilts at an odd angle when she walks, as if, at any moment, it could snap, and her head would roll onto the ground. She is dressed in the colors of the middle, but her outfit resembles the ones worn by those from Dagwa Yun, a fact you, Miix, would recognize, and you, Prior, would know. Her hair is styled with the golden chains of the middle. You should not need me to tell you, Lord Fodder, how the situation looks. You vanished, years ago, without a word, leaving behind the matriarch, my baby brother, and all your children and subjects here, with not so much as a word to the higher-ups of the middle. We are, of course, used to your bouts of silence and sudden sabbaticals. You have proven your loyalty to the middle, time and time again, cementing your status. Smiles. But do let me elaborate on your missteps, Lord Fodder. Frowns. She speaks the word, but that smile does not fall from her face, frozen, as it is, in a single expression. May I continue?
Prior looks at his daughter and takes a deep breath in and out before nodding his head. I've always valued your advice, Perci. Continue.
Thank you, Lord Fodder. A man with your name and description reappeared. Rumors he had been seen in Districts 11, 10, and 21, circulating before a maestro's name is written in the book. There is no vengeance taken. The big brother who responded to carry out the vengeance is unable to find any maestro present, and so a vengeance is left unfulfilled. You, at this point in time, still have failed to return to the web project, or to report back to the great siblings themselves. Now blood has been smeared on your name. You can see it for yourself if you look inside your own book, Lord Fodder. It was always an option. And would you like to check your book of vengeance, Prior?
Prior takes out his book, grits his teeth, and slowly thumbs through the pages until he gets to the section where he knows his own name is written.
There.
And he looks.
And there, Prior, is a bloodied smear of a handprint, as if in someone's last desperate moments, they spent the final strength they had to find your name and mark their spilled blood there.
So that's the trick he played. I was damned before I even had a chance to make. No plan would have been sufficient. I had already lost.
Perci is waiting, watching you as you thumb through your book, before she speaks and says, Big Brother Zachary is missing. I was wondering what he was up to, requesting all those boluses from me. Things to heal you, keep you alive. All those things that I usually take. His book cannot be found, but a note has been left by you, under his name, regarding his insubordination.
That is related to an interaction that others can vouch occurred prior to anything else. It's circumstantial at best. It places me near the sign of what might be a disappearance. I'm not the only member of the middle who can vanish for long periods of time. This all feels like you would agree, my darling daughter, that it is a big misunderstanding.
Perci's head sort of just tilts to the side, and she says, "Perhaps, Lord Fodder, if that were the only bit of circumstantial evidence. But given all of the reasons I have listed, I believe you can understand why the great siblings would take an interest. I do not need to remind you, do I, that there was once a great brother, Matthias."
Yes. Yes. I do remember Matthias. I remember quite directly how he still owes me quite a lot of on from the web's quarterly earnings when he came by saying that he was good for it, before vanishing back to whatever den he came from.
Indeed, Lord Fodder. He was reduced to such a state. His title was stripped. He forswore the absolute loyalty to which every member of the Middle is expected to adhere. And Perci steps forward, her body swaying, coming close enough to you now, Prior, that her words are a whisper meant only for you. Do you want the words "brother killer" to be found in the fine print?
Prior pushes his shoulders back and tries to raise his chin a little bit, projecting confidence that isn't there.
She steps back, bowing her head before she raises it again, and reaches for a bottle hung at her side from one of the golden chains. Fodder, if you are incapable of retaking N.E.O, I can recommend a bolus that will instantly stop your heart and brain activity. Would you like this?
Prior gazes at the small bottle of freedom and kindness and rejects it with a pointed turn of his gaze to his daughter's eyes. You are a talented bolus smith, a brilliant scientist, my dear darling daughter. But even you have yet to come up with a way to kill me for good. As you said, I have simply returned from my sabbatical. I'm here to retake my throne, and I'm here to continue my work, and I am sure the great siblings will more than understand my eccentric proclivities once I can get this place back in order. Family does forgive family, after all.
If you can reclaim your throne, Lord Fodder. Family does forgive family. But death perhaps would be the preferable option, and an option I suspect is now available to you.
Well then, I suppose you fully understand the ramifications of opposing me here then, don't you, daughter?
I do, Lord Fodder. And I do hope you prevail.
Thank you. I've always appreciated your candor and honesty.
Smiles. She does not smile at you, Prior, but she speaks the word aloud before she turns to the other free. My father has done a great deal for me. The best thing I can do is kill you all before the great siblings get their hands on you. And Kai, her gaze then focuses on you. That blank stare. It is good to see you again, Kai. Smiles. I always believed you to be the best suitor for Lord Fodder. You were the most competent, desirable, and loyal of his companions.
Despite her threats just now, Kai can see the logic in Perci's words. Her understanding is that killing them here would be merciful. He simply disagrees with that fact. And despite the fact that Perci isn't actually smiling, he will return the gesture in kind. It's always a pleasure to see you, Perci. I'm glad the feeling is mutual. You seem to have grown into a bright, capable young woman. I unfortunately don't believe your mercy offer will work for us. We won't allow you to stop us from accomplishing what we set out to do, and we will cripple you and your forces if need be to do it. No hard feelings, of course.
Thank you, Kai. Smiles. There are no hard feelings. I hope you do understand what I need to do in putting you down. Frowns.
Kai shifts his stance into something a bit lower to ground, more combat ready. And he says, "Sorry I can't wish you luck succeeding at that. I'll patch you up later if you need though, but after we take back the throne. You understand."
I doubt you should all spare me or keep me alive if that outcome is the one to be found. But I do understand.
Sweet pea, you know I've got a soft spot for you. I won't do that. I know you'll be smart enough to rejoin us when we win. This will hurt, though.
She simply looks you up and down, Kai, and simply says, smiles to see you, Kai, frowns at what I must do to you. And then her gaze goes to you, Merru. You look like Vienna. Blushes, giggles, covers face in hands, and peeks out from between my fingers. Perci does not do a single one of these actions, but describes each one to you.
Yeah. I don't think Merru really knows what to make of that. Honestly, he's not sure if she did all of that there in a weird attempt at mocking him, or if she's just strange. But he knows it's his sister, and Merru has a pretty good feeling that Vienna was probably not a fan of this person either. So I think Merru will just blink at her a few times before saying, yeah, I know I look like her. It's because we're related.
I am well aware. You know,
Right.
my beloved's little brother. He has not yet responded to my correspondence. Frowns. Please tell him to answer.
See, at that, Merru will remember from a little while before when he heard that Berg was apparently being sent death threats or something like that.
Oh, that he was, yes.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he heard it was her that was sending them.
It was indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think the more that Merru has been hearing lately about what happened to Berg after Berg got separated from his care, the more he's really not happy with any of this. But he's also not sure if he's allowed to just outright say the fact that he parented Berg at one point, like here in, the web project. He's not sure if he can say that. So he'll just go, yes, I do know him. Before he came here, he was with me. I took care of him, I guess you could say. So I will not be relaying any messages from you to him.
Oh, frowns. That is a shame. I did hear from when I was within the walls, from what your sister had said.
Merru will furrow his brows from behind Justicia. Not sure what I heard from within the walls means, but I don't think he replies to that. I don't think he has anything really to say to that.
And Perci does not mind the lack of response, as she simply continues and says, Lord Fodder formed the tool of the web into the strong fighter he was meant to be. But you implemented the mental fortitude. And at this, she looks to you, Kai, into my beloved little brother by your methods. I believe that it was necessary to ensure his survival when he left the safety of the web project for the Great Lake. And for that, I thank you. Smiles.
Kai looks over to Merru to assess his reaction to those words, because that's not something that's really been touched upon.
Yeah. Merru, as I just mentioned, is concerned. I don't think Kai can't see his eyes because they're covered by Justicia, but I think Kai knows Merru well enough to be able to just tell that Merru does not seem very happy right now. And Merru does glance at Kai. It's like you can almost feel his stare from behind his the eye wrappings. But he doesn't say anything.
Kai can feel Meru's eyes burning holes into the side of his head, and he will go for a safer response. I'm glad to see that my methods helped shape Berg into someone that some people are proud of. So I'm glad you're one of those people, Perci. Thank you.
I am. Smiles. And leaving whatever is unresolved between the two of you, Perci looks right at you, Miix, with that blank stare. You are Abel's sister, yes?
Yes.
You bear a striking resemblance to your father more than you do him.
You know my father? Are you part of the game?
Prior is going to see this exchange and clearly having no idea what the hell is going on. He's going to go, Perci, I was unaware that you knew the Leonis family. Have you met Miix before?
No, I have not met King Leonis.
I ask why I never knew that you were acquainted with a family from A Corp before?
Lord Potter, you never asked. Had you asked, I would have told you.
That you would. I forgot that's how your brain works. Miix. Pryor looks to Miix apologetically, like he has no ability to understand what Perci might or might not know, nor does he have any unique ability to worm the information out of her.
Sorry, but wait, are you part of the game too, or?
Perci, when asked that, simply looks to you, Miix, and blinks.
Is it like the look of like, okay, is it safe to say that Perci doesn't know what Miix is talking about, or is there a roll, or?
There is no roll that you can make. It looks as if Perci is keeping this blank-faced expression, and it's hard to tell if there may be more info that she has that cannot be accessed, or if the right questions need to be found. Perci takes up a fighting stance, lifts her fans, and managers, you can roll for initiative. This next segment is the combat against young sister Perci and the Children of the Web. It unfortunately could not be re-recorded or recovered, so if you would like to see the combat in its full, and all of her and the Children of the Web skills and chat's reactions, it can be found in the unlisted VOD linked below in the description. Prior to the battle, Miix told Yuna to take shelter and stay out of the fight. Everyone rolled for initiative, with Perci acting first in the turn order. Perci directs the Children of the Web. The children are careful to not stand in a line formation, almost as if they have been informed of the properties of Magic Bullet, the ego Merru wields. Despite being clad in the uniform of the middle, their techniques resemble those of the Zwei Association, and they are empowered with boluses from H Corp that Perci has provided them. Perci fights with 2 fans and the bolus powder on her person, unable to do much in the way of damage, but inflicting stacks of rupture and bleed. Thanks to chat's interference, Yuna is able to clear the manager's negative statuses, but only once. Perci's body is frail, and so harming her isn't a challenge, but she is difficult to catch. She slips off the battlefield and out of sight when injured, and Pryor is well aware of the web project's design, how Perci is able to use the tunnels, secret passages, and cracks in the architecture to her advantage. From above, an announcement can be heard. Testing is in progress, and anyone still outside in the square should seek shelter. Side effects may include dizziness, nausea, difficulty breathing, fatigue, uncontrollable bleeding, organs rupturing, loss of consciousness, and up to and including death. Once the mandated warning has been delivered, powder rains down from the sky, coating all in the square below and causing anyone inflicted with bleed or rupture to succumb to the side effects, blood pouring from their eyes, organs bursting from inside. A second powder coats one of the Children of the Web, buffing them, causing their muscles to bulge. An experiment of Perci's intended for Berg, the tool of the web, if he were to return. Pryor is killed outright, using one of his emergency ampules rather than the gift, or curse, of N.E.O. Miix succumbs to her wounds during this battle, forced to expend an emergency ampule, and Merru is gravely injured. The Children of the Web are a near-invincible force. Even when about to be downed, they rise back to their feet, their tattoos expanding and cracking their skin to push their bodies beyond their limits. And those who do fall are simply picked back up by Perci. The web refuses to let them die. But thankfully for the managers, not all of the children have sided against their lord. Loyal subjects, redeemed by chat, assist in the battle, striking Perci from the shadows, inflicting her with bleed and weakening her until she attempts to stand for one last attack, and falls to the ground unable to move, her body failing her, collapsing at her father's feet, and awaiting death at his hands.
All right, Perci. The battle's done.
I have been defeated, Lord Fodder Pryor. As the victor, you have the right to exact your vengeance upon me, as I believe I hold no use to you in your journey to retake the web.
There's a lot Pryor wants to say to Perci. There's an awful lot. but he knows his daughter very well, and he knows that sentimentality will be lost on her. He's going to sort of crouch down into a squat so he can get closer to Perci, and he's going to say, "My darling daughter, your use to me is infinite and incalculable. Without you, I would not have accomplished as much as I have, and you have earned your place in this project, as well as my protection, as much as any citizen has. I would be breaking promises not just to myself, and not just to you, but to every soul in the web project, were I to extract my vengeance upon you for doing what exactly I would ask and expect of you to do in my absence. Protect N.E.O, protect the web project, and make sure that everything was ready for my return. For that, I thank you. But, with my mercy, I ask that yet again you take upon your post as my daughter and my closest confidant. Shall we trade your life for your allegiance yet again?"
Of course, Lord Fodder. I give my life to you. And, in return, you are given my allegiance. Smiles.
Wonderful. Then let's help you off the ground, gently. And Prior, knowing his daughter's biology, knowing where her body cracks and bends and breaks, gently lifts her back onto her feet.
You are able to do so, Prior. And Perci is on your side.
Had that one prepared, did you?
That I did. And Perci looks to you, Prior, and asks, "What do you need of me, Lord Fodder?"
There's a lot I wish I could ask you, and a lot I wish I could say, but for now, our time is short, and Mary will be here shortly. I need you to go down into the depths of the club, quietly, and I need you to open up the arteries. I need you to bring them to the surface. I need you to get my old back door open once again, so I can enter the web from beneath, into the heart of N.E.O. Can you do that for me, Perci?
Ah, you will be traversing the arteries of N.E.O. Brilliant idea, Lord Prior. I shall attend to that at once.
Lovely. And Perci, your boluses have come a long way. I know that your specialty and your focus is upon relics, not exactly your bolus craft, but still, you have done wonderfully. Do try and stay alive.
Thank you, Lord Godfather. I shall do as you command, to the best of my ability, and the same to you. You are no longer the only one. Upon N.E.O stage, frowns.
The arteries will prove me an opportunity to take from Abel from the source.
Perci nods her head at that. And Prior, you have given Perci an order. Is there anything else you would like to ask of her?
Nope. The conversations can be led to when my ex-wife is not stalking me down and trying to kill me. Because Mary is stronger than Perci, and Perci and a couple children of the web were able to do this to us. We need to move now.
The managers seek shelter, a place they can hide out. All of them well aware that Big Sister Mary is hunting them down with the rest of the children under her command. Merru is badly hurt, but Prior cautions that he not expend any of his healing ampules, as their resources are limited. Yuna notices Merru in pain, and after how he protected them, tries to offer Merru some support, overcoming their fear for what they witnessed Merru do to the big brother. The four find a place to hunker down and have a moment to catch their breath. Or so they believe, when the door to the hideout opens, and heavy footsteps can be heard. Footsteps that Kai recognizes from a time long past. And here is where the session comes to a close. Thank you all so much again for the support and for coming out to watch. A huge apology that the DM narration for this session was lost, and we hope that this VOD can be sufficient for filling those who missed the livestream in on what happened. Lots of love to everyone, and we appreciate you all so much and hope you are excited for what is in store.